Chattanooga volunteer, rid of pest. No bug will survive. Call 698-7205.
Welcome again to the Volunteer Rid of Pest podcast. I'm your host, Mike Stewart, and today here with Chattanooga pest control expert Erik Gardner. Erik, are you ready to have another great podcast?
I am raring to go.
All right. Well, it's my understanding that Crawlspace Encapsulation is a new piece of business and services that you're doing at Volunteer Rid of Pest, and there's got to be a whole lot of benefits. So I am don't totally understand. I know what it is. In fact, our home here in Nashville has that. But I want to hear all of the types of homes that need it. What is it? How does it benefit me as a homeowner? Tell me all about Crawlspace Encapsulation.
All right. Well, Crawlspace Encapsulation is a relatively new process where you turn a damp, musty crawl space into a clean, healthier space by coming down the walls with a thick plastic membrane, turning it out over the dirt floor of the crawl space, sealing around all of the support piers, any penetrations like pipes and things, you securely tape around it, and you just make a waterproof membrane that separates the house from the dirt floor of the crawl space. And in that, you can also install a dehumidifier that will pull all the moisture out of the air and take it from it. You know, we find some crawl spaces as high as 40%, relative humidity with wood moisture content in the wood really high, which leads to wood decay, fungus, mold, and a lot of other things you don't want in your crawl space. So this is a method that handles all that. You know, if you have standing water in your crawl space, we can install a sump pump, put in total encapsulation in there. That way, if any water does get in your crawl space, it goes under the membrane, is pumped out through the sump pump, and it keeps your crawl space nice and dry. So a lot of good benefits to Crawlspace Encapsulation. There's a lot of different ways to do it, some better than others, but that's the basic of a Crawlspace Encapsulation.
And so what are the big benefits and protections as a homeowner? I mean, does it help with pests? Does it help with termites? Does it help with vermin and rodents? Is it all just about moisture? What all can this do for me?
Well, it is mostly, for the most part, about moisture, because the majority of crawl spaces, I'm going to say in my personal history, probably 80% of the crawl spaces I go under have inadequate ventilation and they're too wet. We use a moisture meter when we do inspections just to see the wood moisture content. Anything above 15%, mold and fungus can grow. And the majority of what we see, like I said, over 80% is in that range, anywhere from 15 to 40%. So we want to get it dried out. Now, we do other things other than encapsulation, so we try to find the most affordable solution to that particular problem. Not everyone needs an encapsulation. But if they have an underground water source that's coming up under their house, if they have water seeping around their foundation, if they have fungus growing on their floor joist, fungus and mold release spores, and those spores become airborne. And when your heat and air unit turns on up in the house, it creates suction through where the filter goes, that air return. And if you probably noticed, sometimes it'll pull your doors closed in the bedroom or something, when the air turns on. That suction also pulls air from the crawl space around pipes, wires, little cracks in the floor, cracks around the baseboard. Any little opening they can find, that air will come up through, and it can contain those mold and fungus spores. A lot of people have runny noses and coughs and respiratory distress and don't really know why, and it's because of that unhealthy air being pulled into their home. Recently, we had a lady call and said that when she was in her bedroom, she kept having this musty smell, but it was only when the heat was on. So went and investigated. Sure enough, her crawl space was really wet and musty. And I noticed some light coming into the crawl space from under the bathroom. I could see the pipes coming down. Crawled under and looked. There was a hole that was about 12 inches wide and 14 inches long where the plumbing came down from a jetted tub that was in the bedroom, or in the bathroom rather, adjacent to her bedroom. So I went back up in the house and I opened up the doors under the jetted tub, and I could see right down into the crawl space. And when the heat turned on, it would pull air from the crawl space up into the bathroom, into her bedroom, and she got that musty smell along with whatever else came up, dust, spores, and all kinds of things. So we sealed that opening and did air sealing all under her crawl space and solved that problem. Cost a couple of $100. So there's all kinds of solutions that don't cost a lot of money. And we're all about that. We want to help our customers. We don't want to take anybody to the cleaners. We want to solve their problem as affordably as we can. Sometimes, though, encapsulation is the best solution to solve the problem.
Well, I know people with crawl spaces, the homes I've owned over the years, didn't have that. In fact, probably when I bought my first home, never heard of it. And it's so right. I know I have a friend and a client who's in mold remediation, and mold, and especially black mold, can be harmful to people's health, harmful to everybody in the house, and it can destroy the home. So that moisture is something you can't ignore. Now, won't you go out and inspect and put together a quote for somebody interested in getting a crawl space encapsulation?
Absolutely. If you've got any moisture issues at all, we can come out and do a free evaluation. We can check out the house, take moisture readings, and let you know exactly what's going on in your crawl space, and then come up with the most affordable solution to solve that problem. So there's no obligation. Just give us a ring. We come out, we check it out, and we're perfectly honest with you. We don't try to upsell you on something you don't need. We want to give you the best solution for you that fits with your budget and will permanently solve your problem.
Well, it sounds like the pest experts in Chattanooga, Erik Gardner, are the moisture and the other type of pests, so spores and mold and all the things that people don't think about it. But, most people have their air units in their crawl space. A lot of people have the whole system down there, and it is just pulling all of those horrible things into your breathing space. And you know what? If you ignore it, it could be the reason that you're having all these challenges. So call Erik at Volunteer Rid of Pest, Chattanooga Pest, Termite and Pest Control.com, and be sure to subscribe to this podcast where you're going to get helpful tips every month, absolutely free, from the pest expert Erik Gardner at Volunteer Rid of Pest. You can subscribe to us in Apple, Google, Spotify, and any places where podcasts are published. We are there. We're online, and we want you to share our content and our information to help you. More importantly, you got any problems, you get in touch with Erik Gardner at Volunteer Rid of Pest. Until next time, Erik, have a great month.
Hey, this is Erik Gardner with Volunteer Rid of Pest right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We've been serving the greater Chattanooga area since 1970, and in those 49 years of doing business, we have developed the most effective treatment strategies in the industry. We're so confident in what we do, we offer a 5-year, 100% money-back guarantee on all termite treatments. That's right, for 5 full years, if you find a termite in your home, we'll come back and retreat the entire home for free, refund 100% of your money, and pay you an additional $250 for your time and trouble. Nobody else in Chattanooga does that, so if you want a termite-free home, call us today at 698-7205. That's Volunteer Rid of Pest, the pest authority in Chattanooga. Call 698-7205 or Google Volunteer Rid of Pest.
Google volunteer.